video, we are going to be walking through the work of Romer0 and Roy Lichtenstein, which will have done in class. We're going to be using Adobe Illustrator for this project, and we're going to start here by going to New File once you have Adobe Illustrator open. Once you've gone there, you're going to go up to the top where it says Print for the presets. If you don't see enough of them, go to View All Presets and select the tabloid size file. Once you've done that, you can hit Create, and you'll get your tabloid size file on your screen. Let's go to Window at the top, Workspace, and Reset Essentials so everything snaps back to where it should be. Once we're there, in class, I'm going to give you a file of a image of a particular person, one of our staff members here at school. And what we're going to do is go to File and Place. We're going to find that file, and we are then going to place that file. So we'll pick that in class for you. And then once you hit place, all you have to do is click and drag. You can make it wider than the actual artboard itself, and then drop it. Once you have it in here, you can take either the black arrow, the top, the selection tool, or the white arrow, the group selection tool with the plus sign on it, either one. Click on the piece, move it around. You can hold Shift and resize it to get the size that you'd like. I would say about centered on the page, about that size is good for all of yours, will be fine. On the right hand side here, you will see a layers panel little icon. If you click that, you can click on layers and sort of pull that out because you will need that, and then you can close the rest of them. This over here, what we're going to do with it really is we're really just gonna lock it. If your image is too dark, let me know. We can brighten it up or lighten it up, okay? But we're just going to lock this one down by clicking this little area right there to lock it. After that, we're going to go down to the New Layer button here to create a new layer. This is where you're going to do all of your drawing on this project, so you can double click on that and you can write Draw or Drawing and hit Return. Okay, so we are going to first start out just by tracing most of what we see. We're going to do this in this style of romer0. So you see on these pieces the really bold black thick lines in varying sizes. You can see over here on the left hand side there's a thicker black line, and then inside the characters there's thinner black lines. We're going to do the similar thing to first trace what we see and create a background, and then we'll get into coloring and everything else after that. So what you're going to do on your toolbar is, for the first time, we're going to be using the regular paintbrush tool, or you can click B on your keyboard to get to it. Once you've selected it, if you double click the brush tool, you're going to see these options pop up here for you. So what this means, the fidelity, just means you can slide this slider based on accuracy or smoothness of the line. So what does this mean? If you go to accurate and then you try to draw with this, it's going to match up almost exactly to how you draw. But if you pull the smooth button to the right, it's going to help to smooth out the line that you draw. So I'm going to keep mine in the middle for now, and with these options here, just make sure that edit selected paths is on. The other ones can be unchecked, and this is fine. This is sort of a general rule here, and it'll be fine for what we're doing. So we're going to hit OK. Now, once you're there, you'll notice that at the top of your screen, you have some color choices here. Same thing here at the bottom of your toolbar. What we want to do is we want to make the stroke black, and we will make the fill nothing. The stroke size in this project, I'm thinking you should use about 3 different ones. So you could use like a 0.5, maybe a 2, and then for some larger ones, maybe a 5 or a 6, somewhere in that range, okay? But about 3 different sizes would be good. So we're going to start with the smallest ones. So I'm going to go to 0.5. The shape of this brush, we're going to use a uniform shape brush. If you click on here, you see it just goes, it's the same width across all of it. And it's going to be a round one to start with. So as I just click and draw, you can see sort of what it looks like. And you'll notice that as I let go, it was like bumpy at first. As soon as I let go, it smooths it out. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to go over to this, zoom in, right? Command plus to zoom in. And we want to start drawing what we see. So I'm just going to use this like little area. I'm going to zoom in nice and tight to this area here. And we're just going to start drawing. Now, as I start drawing, you have to make a decision about how thick you want the line to be. Now, this is fine. I might be able to go even smaller on this one. So instead of 1, let's go back to 0.5. Let's try that. So that's a little bit better. So I'm going to stick with 0.5. And I'm just going to draw what I see. And you can go in small segments. Click, drag, click, drag. I'm dragging until my lines kind of connect to each other, but you don't even have to. You can just sort of like draw the little details of what you see and then let go. If you know that it's going to be a piece that's like this is all part of the ear, for example, so this will be, the majority of it will be the same color because it's all part of the skin, right? So if I know it's going to be a different color though, let's say like here with the hair, you know, I can draw this and connect it and then close it off. Okay, so now it's like its own shape because it'll be a different color than the rest of what's here. But if it's all part of the same color, like in the ear here, I can leave them sort of open. All right, I'm just going to do a little bit more here. Just try to get all those details that you see, get some of the lines that you see. And then we're going to show you how to break it up, color it, and then add a lot of the same stylish or stylistic effects, I should say, that you saw in the artists that we looked at for this project, okay? And you can continue like that, but like I said again, if it's something, I'm going to stop right about here, okay, just to give you, I'm giving you a sample rather than doing the whole entire thing now for the purpose of the tutorial, okay? And then just, again, for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to like close this up just to show you what this one little kind of piece looks like. For you, you will be doing the entire face. And again, I'm just going to sort of close it up to there. All right, I'll add a few more lines, some stuff for the eye. Check with me once you've done your black lines. I'll look at them with you before you move on to the coloring portion of this. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out. Then I'm going to hide the original drawing at the bottom on the layers panel. And this is what I've got so far. Now, again, this is only a sample. So the step from here is this. You're going to take your black arrow. You're going to click and drag to select everything. Or you can simply go to select and all. Once you've gone to select and all, and actually, I'm sorry, there's one more thing I should add before we do that, and that I'm going to use the same brush. I'm going to change the thickness, and I'm going to do some background area, right? So when we looked at this artist, these different artists, you saw all the different background size and thickness of some of the lines that exist in the background, right? So we're going to draw a little bit of a background. Now, the background that you choose to draw is completely up to you. If you have an idea, please add it. If you want to make some sort of like this one here, you want to make sort of like an environment of some kind, or some of the other ones here where it's just a straight up sort of design that's going to be mixed with pattern and color later, up to you. So I'm going to add with a thicker brush now just some background area. Okay. If you want to create a straight line, just hold Shift and you can create straight lines as you draw with that brush again. And I'm just adding a few different pieces. And then, like I said, maybe 1/3 and last larger size brush somewhere. I'm going to like, they're kind of like off the page, sort of. Okay. In order for be able to color all of these, I'm just going to take a smaller brush and just sort of do like a little line connecting like these, sort of ending them off like this. Okay, this way they all just connect to a line that's outside of the artboard. Okay, so we are ready now to begin coloring. So we're going to zoom in. We're going to take the black arrow and click and drag to select everything, or you can simply go to select and all. Once you've done that, you're going to go to Object at the top. You're going to go to Expand Appearance. Once you've gone to Expand Appearance, you're then going to go to Object, Live Paint, and Make. That's going to create a live paint group. What that allows you to do, you're going to see these little boxes show up on the corners here. You have to go over to your toolbar. Onto your toolbar, you're going to click, or you can click K on your keyboard, and you're going to right click there. You're going to find the live paint bucket. So because we turned it into a live paint group, if you go to the live paint bucket and click that, you'll notice a little paint bucket comes up here. It's got 3 colors at the top, white, black, and red. as I click the arrow keys on my keyboard, those colors start to shift. These colors that it's going through now are the same colors that exist inside your swatches panel, which are here. So if I click this and move it, you'll notice this one is selected right now. You see that? And you can see the tool right below it here where I'm circling. And if I hit the arrow to the right, it's going through all of the colors that are in my swatches panel. Now there are, 60 colors or something here in my swatches panel. 50 or 60. But there's a lot more to choose from. And so you can go up to the top corner here, go down to swatch libraries, and there are a million different ones that you can really choose from. You can go to color books like we've used once before in this class, and you can try any of the ones that you see, or any of the other ones you're welcome to try, okay? And when you click on any of them, you're going to get a new box that pops up similar to this with a lot more colors for you to choose from. Some of them have so many that you will be definitely overwhelmed by it. Okay, so here's another example. Go like this. Let's do true match colors. Let's see what pops up. Okay, so you can see here all the different colors that are available to you. And so with that same tool, if I just go over here and I click one of these, now I have that color. And if I click another one, now I have that color. And actually, by clicking those colors here in the new libraries that came up here, it adds them to my basic swatches, which then adds them to my live paint group. So as I click through, it's added them to the end here. So your job now is to go over to the work that you've done, and you'll notice as soon as I go over near the work that I've done, things start to highlight, like they get bold like this, and I can just click and fill in. I can change the color to something else and fill in. So I'm using the arrow key on my keyboard just to change to a different color, just so you can see all the different colors. Once you fill it once, doesn't mean you can't switch colors and fill it again with something else. Okay, and sometimes you have to, you got to zoom in to see what you're doing, so you can really tell what's going on. And you can start to mess with and play with the colors that you choose. Really, totally up to you. If you hold Option on your keyboard while you do this, you'll see that it turns into the eyedropper tool, in which case you can click on something, and then you can do that. And then you can click on something else and fill it. There's a lot of sort of, back and forth you'll do as you start to color this thing. So I'm going to go back to my black arrow and just click away from this whole thing and just look at it for a second. Now, I didn't fill in every single thing, all right? But I could always go back to the live paint bucket, go back right over. It's still a live paint group, so these things will highlight. I can choose my colors. I can click and fill in anything that I may have missed, okay? So you see that already I'm starting to get a little bit of a look, which is similar to this, but we're going to take it a couple of steps further. So once you're done with everything, the face and your background as well, you're going to take the black arrow, select it all again, or you can go to Select All. After you've done that, you're going to go to Object and Expand. Once you've done Expand, just make sure Object, Fill, and Stroke are all checked. You're going to hit OK. And what this allows us to do now is these individual shapes, if I was to take the group selection tool, the little white arrow with the plus sign, I can go up to any of these shapes, click, and move them, right? What I can also do is I can start to cut into them. So what does that mean? If I was to select everything, I could then go over to my toolbar. Right underneath the brush, if I right click, there's an eraser tool, a scissor tool, and a knife tool. If you select the knife tool, and I'm going to double click the knife tool just to see if any options come up for us. They don't. All right, good. That's fine. So you're going to take the knife tool, and then you're going to start to cut through what you see. As long as everything is selected first, you take this knife tool, and you start to cut through. So things could look like this. I'm going to start outside, and I'm just going to drag to kind of cut through things like that, and then I'm going to let go. And you'll see the line that you created is still there. By using this knife tool, starting outside and then going all the way through until you get to the other side, you're creating brand new shapes by cutting the pieces that are already here. Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to go back to that tool at the top, this one, Group Selection Tool, click away. Everything looks exactly the same now. The difference is these pieces that I just cut are literally individual pieces. So I can go over to here, for example, And I could use one of these color palettes. So let's just say I'm going to do like, I'll do this color here, and then right next to it there's another piece. I'll do that color next to that one. There's another color next to this one, another color. And follow these color palettes. They're super helpful in giving you, you know, something that looks really cool. And it allows you to have this beautiful effect by adding these pieces. Now we cut through all of these, so these are all separate, you know, pieces. Now, how you color them is up to, you know, which colors you pick is totally up to you. Don't double click because that'll grab too much, but just one piece at a time. So there's going to be a lot of just clicking and finding colors that you think are going to work and look really great. So you're definitely a color planner here of sorts. If you can't get to one of them, sometimes you have to zoom in. There we go. And then you can get to the piece. So you can see already it's creating this beautiful effect by adding colors. So you can stick in whatever color range you want. You can look back at the work from both artists. And the last piece to kind of finish this off is you'll notice that for both artists, they have a lot of dot patterns, line patterns. Same thing for Roy Lichtenstein here, where there's these dot and repeating line or dot patterns within the work, along with the solid colors. So what you do to create this is you just go back to Illustrator, all right, and you go to any of the pieces that you already have. For example, if I zoom in and I go to this yellow piece, I'm going to click on it with the group selection tool, click on it once. And you'll remember this from the last project that we did, is that you hold Option, you can click and drag like this, just so it's off the page so you can take a look at it separately. I like to do it this way. There are a few other ways to do it. But then you're going to go to those dot patterns and texture patterns that we had used before. So you go to your swatches panel, click the top right, go to Open Libraries. This time when you choose from your libraries, you're going to choose Patterns. And then from there, there's 3 different ones you can choose from. So I'm going to go to Basic. I'll go to Dot Patterns for now, and I'm going to click Dots. And when the dots come up, they look like this. If you want to see them larger, just go here, go Large Thumbnail, so you can see them a little bigger. So like this one, for example. So I clicked it, it just filled it in. And then all I got to do is take it, drag it, and drop it right back on where it was before, which was right there. Okay? And so now you've really added that exact same style, really stealing that style well. Now this does not have to go through the entire thing or everything, but you'll pick and choose where you place it and what you think works best. But you can take any piece, copy it, and then, you know, add what you think is going to work, and then drop it right back on. Just so you're aware not to stick with the same things over and over and over and over. So that's what that looks like, right? So it's already looking pretty cool, but there are a lot more. So just go up to here, go down to Libraries, go over to Patterns, try some new patterns, try, you know, nature patterns, animal skins, whatever, textures, lines. See what comes up, because there's going to be a lot of them to kind of play with and choose from. I'll give you one more example here, and they don't all have to be. A lot can be solid. You can leave them solid, but some you might find look really great, you know, by adding those kind of pieces. Okay, so this is a portrait project, a pop art portrait project based on those artists, and those are the steps. See me with any questions. Not every single piece has to have a pattern. Like I said, you can always just check back at the work of some of these artists and see that he's mixed this, you know, the solid colors with the patterns. Anything else you want to try to add to this, you have any ideas, just let me know, and we can continue to add to your work.